Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another Train Sim World video. Today we're going to be doing the second of the three videos that said I'd do my first drive videos. So this time around it's my first ever proper drive in a proper high-speed train. So we're going to go with the German ICE BR 403 Castle Wurzburg, and just give us a short run for our first time out just to have a look. Full at the castle, and just so we can have a proper look at the train. Keep the weather clear. Let's go have a look. So here we are. Come on, gang. Let's get you on. Safety systems, please. LZB, PCB, ZFAT. AFB, and usually you get speed controlled by PZB leaving the station, so set that to 40 for a minute. And because I know definitely not going to be able to keep up with this thing with the free camera, so might as well set them cameras to have a look at the outside views as we go along. Everything's set up, so just wait for the time to depart. What else do I need to do? Headlights, normal high beams. Start closing up the doors. So we've got a U already, which means we're in LZB Mondron, but That should change the PZB monitor once we depart here. Don't be putting too many watts into the motors if PCB kicks in. As you will get to see on the channel over the next couple of weeks with the rapid transit scenarios, PCB is not my friend. I'm staying in LZB monitoring rather than PCB monitoring, so let's get that up to the speed limit. With LZB's monitoring actually, Z5 should be able to set that to its max and LZB should control the train. So this is my first mainline drive in a true high speed train, so obviously the only thing I've done beforehand in this is the training centre. I suppose while we're coming out of Fulda here, or Fulda, I suppose best thing to explain for any new players coming into the game to what I do in the training centre with each train. Specifically just to get to know each train. You'll get to know the routes and stuff as you drive them, but for each individual train handling, first is I always learn how to learn how to call start it. There will always be one scenario or one something somewhere where you'll need to call start the train, and if you don't know how to do it, it can take you a while. Second thing, obviously get the train moving, see what the acceleration is like out of it, and then obviously test the braking on it so you know what sort of braking distance and acceleration speed. And then the third thing I always do is I always trigger an emergency braking. So in every train with it, once you have safety systems on, when you trigger an emergency braking or safety systems trigger an emergency braking, it brings on what's called an interlocking. So it stops the motors from generating power again until you clear the interlocking. So I always emergency brake each individual train to learn how to clear the interlocking, because that will save you much time when you're playing the game. And then number 4 is, I suppose, it's not for every train, it's only really with trains that have new systems you haven't drove with. For example, this train I had to learn about the AFB because I hadn't used the AFB before. So just learning any new systems that you haven't come across in game yet. And that's really all I do in the intro of the training centre, and then it's out onto the main line. So this is my first main line run. Quite surprised coming out of Fulda we didn't get PCB monitoring, because as far as I'm aware, you in and out of stations you're under PCB control rather than LZB. So I chose this route I've to drive as my first high speed route, because obviously the German ICEs are true high speed trains, and that they match that of the Italian, say Trenitalia sets, or the French SNCF, and even the Japanese bullet trains. I could have went with the Southeastern high speed class 395 Javelins, but in terms of high speed trains, the difference between the speed of the Javelin and the speed of the previous HST on UK rails is not as big. Obviously the Javelin 140 mile an hour top speed, or 225 kilometre an hour top speed, and you compare that to the ICE, which is a 200 mile an hour or 300 mile an hour or kilometre an hour top speed. So it's a little bit quicker is why I chose it, and it's what you call a true high speed train. Apologies for the phone ringing in the background noise there, just it was an unexpected call. So first impressions, I kind of feel more like a pilot than a train driver, in the sense that it's similar to a pilot in that they do a lot of their control of the aircraft, say, on the ground at an airport, but once they're in the air and going between destinations, it's generally humans monitoring computers doing the job, and it's fairly similar in the ice here anyway, in that you control it in and out of stations, but the train itself tends to do, and the computers tend to do everything in between, and you're just sitting monitoring and watching safety systems, so it kind of gives that sort of feel in that regard. And that's not a complaint, by the way, because I am a flight sim fan who on the occasional chance I get to do play flight simulators, I would use autopilot myself, so I suppose that's where I'm drawing that comparison from, really. So a lot of tunnels along here. Got a G popped up, so I'm going to slow down coming down to 200. The train should do that itself. Drop to max and let the AFB do its job. So this is the ICE 3 or the DB403. The other ICE you can drive in the game is the ICE 1, the 401. The DB401 is the other one, the older variant of the ICE you can drive on this route anyway. So this is, well, I suppose Southeastern Highspeed with the Javelin, and this, are my only what we considered high-speed routes at the moment now, as far as recent the recent roadmap from Dovetail Games and Train Sim World. Rumour is that we will be getting the LGV Avion to Marseille route for free between the 26th of May and the 2nd of July to celebrate Dovetail Game being purchased by Focus Games, which are a French company. So that will bring another high-speed line into my catalogue. I do want to try and get some American, maybe passenger route or two in. Maybe some more American road freight. I have to say, I have filmed all of the Cajon Pass scenarios, and they're ready to be uploaded there, and I thoroughly enjoyed them. So American freight road freight anyway will be something I will be going back to. And obviously I have a couple other British routes that I want to add to the list as well, that are there. It's just being able to afford them all. some really nice viaducts along this line as well. You're never really going to get a chance to properly get flyby cameras or anything of trains crossing them, because you have absolutely no hope of keeping up with this thing in the free camera. Right. And that's me holding the steady camera with the Highspeed yoke up on the camera, so it's just impossible to keep up with these things. I can see where these could get a little bit boring if you're not operating full safety systems. Particularly Zifa seems to be keeping the attention. Other than that, there's not a lot really to do but watch the track pass under you. So got a bad sounding horn on it. One thing I've noticed is we've covered about 40 kilometers since the start of the route, well, since the start of this drive. We haven't seen a train go in the opposite direction yet, so traffic seems a little bit sparse. One thing I will say is it appears that in the timetabling with the time we're due into Castle at compared to the time now and the departure time, it seems there is a lot of playroom in the timetable, so that's one nice thing to see. It's, some of the British routes are tricky to keep the timetable unless you're pushing the envelope, so and I know with the rapid transit as well, the Leipziger rapid transit, once you turned on Zifa and PZB, that was it, good luck. Your chances of keeping the timetable went out the window, so it's nice to see a German route where you can actually be a little bit ahead of time. So realistically, so far, I haven't had to really do much. Release the brakes, put the AFB lever in position and apply the power, and the train's done everything itself since, so. Of what I can get from learning about the AFB and the LZB, because they're the two systems on this train that are new to me. I should get some warnings and some manual control coming into Castle. Still no traffic going the opposite direction though. As you can see there as well now, the LZB is currently slowing the train, and a couple of times there the HUD went yellow, which would usually generally signify slightly overspeeding, but bear in mind that the train is slowing down before the speed limit, so that 200 is not the speed limit, or where that when it's going yellow is not the speed limit, so you're not actually going to lose action points there either. As you can see there, the speed limit is the dot that actually jumped down, so once you're below that you'll still achieve your full points. And here's our first train towards us, and it's another IC3 Ice 3. Zifa. So it was about 85 kilometers from Full at the Castle, so about 60 kilometers in now at this stage. So as I said at the start, this is the second of 3 videos, first drive videos that I said I'd make and put on the channel. You can find now my first ever American road fight drive now on the channel in a playlist with this video, and following on then from this in a couple of weeks time will be Steam, my first ever Steam drive. I am really looking forward to getting into Steam and learning how to drive that, and I will be getting a video up as soon as I can with that. I was just waiting for the Steam patch due in a few days to there's a few core and dynamic changes to how Steam looks and things like that, so I'm just waiting for them fixes, a couple of derailment and issues on the Steam route issues, so they're all due to be fixed. I think it's Thursday this week, so once they're fixed I'll be diving straight into Steam as well, so that will be another first drive video coming as well. Bear in mind as well, I'm saying Steam patch coming Thursday, which when I'm recording this is coming Thursday, but the video might not be released for a couple of weeks either, as there's a queue of videos already recorded ahead of it, so I don't know where it's going to slip in yet onto the channel. So just bear in mind that when you're actually watching this, that the Steam patch could be out and available. And most likely the new Steam route, Peak Forest, which I have to say I'm looking forward to getting a proper look at on Thursday night when the devs do their Let's Play stream. There's a BR18, it's a 185, is it? Or a 182? Just about 3 minutes outside of Castle now, roughly. Just shouldn't be expecting to get control back anytime soon. Well, there's the G indicator coming up, so coming to slow down. And LZB still in control. I should get the end of warning anytime soon. And they're passing, we have an IC1. Still under LZB monitoring, we haven't dropped back the PCB yet. Two kilometers out, take the power off and be ready to take back control of the train. Still under LZB monitoring though. So at this stage I should have well taken back control of this train because it's coming up from the station, but since we're this close and LZB is still working there, I'm actually going to let this just keep going and see what happens. If you're playing by the rules of the railway, do not do this. Take back control of the train and drive it in and out of the station yourselves. This one's a test for you out there that are trying to game the action point system. Apologies about the phone noise again. Yeah, so those of you looking to game the action point system, since that's still under PCB or LZB control, let's see what happens. Will LZB stop it, and will it give maximum stopping points? And remember, it's never advisable to allow LZB to stop your train at a station or coming up to a red signal. You should always be ready to stop the train yourself. So 497, so we dropped 3 action points there just by LZB stopping the train slightly early. So for those of you as well looking to game the action point system, letting LZB bring in your train is not a good idea either, because the game will penalise you more for being short than it does for being long. So that distance the train stopped short. If I had to stop long that amount of distance, I still would have got the full 500 points. So bringing your train in yourself is the best way to get your maximum action points, as well as being the correct way to drive the train. That's been my first high-speed drive. As I said, kind of a bit like the way an airline pilot monitors the computers of an autopilot. It's kind of similar to that with the high-speed trains in comparison to, say, old diesels or steam, that you take your eye off for 2 seconds and you lose control. That's it, good luck. So anyway, that's the end of this video. Thanks for watching and we'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.